So if there are any deliberations by which we can, through the control of our mind, whatever we do is the mind's doing. So if something is done like that, it is spontaneous according to that. It is spontaneous. So let somebody else do it. I mean, it's something the divine is doing it to you. Let's have all the intellectuals down there. What do you answer to that? Did you hear that, Linda? The question is very simple. The question is this, that they were saying that the mind is limited. All right? Hello. Is Maria here? I was thinking of her. Where is she? I don't see her. Hello. I was thinking of you today somehow to meet. There you go. I'm very happy you could come. Yes. Good. Now the question is this, a simple question, that they are saying that through our mind, whatever we do, or through the control of our mind, whatever we do is done by a limited energy of mind. All right? Now this limited energy of mind is doing something which cannot take you to unlimited. So something has to happen to us which is beyond the control of the mind. That's the only thing that is spontaneous. Now see the confusion. Now on mental level you can answer that. Let's see. Come along, Don. Who is that? Yes?
You could say it has to be something spontaneous happens to you, which increases your awareness, whereas these people were degrading themselves.
No, you see, but the proof of the awareness is not there. All right? So then how do you say you have a greater awareness? Because that is subjective. So they may come out. You see, they are very clever. So now, another answer, yeah?
It's another perception.
Huh? The same thing, you are saying the same thing. That the perception, you say you have a different perception, but how are they to believe? So you see, on mental level, on discussion only, what can you say about Sahaja Yoga? That's it. Very good question. Put your mind on. Very simple answer.
Vibratory awareness.
Huh?
Vibratory awareness.
No, but that's it. You say you have vibratory awareness, but who believes you? You may say anything, but who will? Now come along, the computer. It is very simple. You see, just go in a very simple way. Then you will see the point. May.
There's no effort involved. Results.
Huh?
The results.
Results. That's too far-fetched. Just on discussion point, what should we say? Say that's too far-fetched. You see the results, I can feel your kundalini, I can see this, that. That's after.
Could you say that you should be able to think if you want to?
Huh?
Could you say that you should be able to still use the mind if you want to?
We should be?
We should be able to still use the mind if we want to, not to chuck away the mind altogether. So we're saying to go out of your
But they
mind.
can say we are using the mind. You see, those who want to cheat you will say that. They can cheat. If they want to cheat you, they'll say, yes, we are using the mind. We are in perfect bliss and happiness. We have vibrations. What can you say? If you say your Muladhara is catching, they'll say your this chakra is catching. How can you quarrel with these people? On mental level, not on any substantial, these proofs to be given.
Well, do they say the mind can see itself up?
Huh?
Do they say the mind can see itself up, can be its own witness?
No, they say that mind is limited.
So it's not its own witness.
So you have to give up your mind. Somebody else should work it out, the divine. And you see, when they jump or they do anything, it's the divine that is making them jump. Or shout or growl. So simple.
When the divine is working it out to them, the divine should be able to solve their problems and give them...
That's too far-fetched, Chaya. That's too far-fetched. They will not believe that your problems are solved. Only just on discussion point. What is the basic difference between divine and human?
How can discuss them about it if it is...
Huh?
How can discuss about it if it is really the mind which is limited? So how can they discuss it with them?
You can tell them something, even on the limited level. You can add the divine and limited stuff. See here sitting someone? You can? You can? Now, should I tell you? All you given up? Let's have the last word.
You have to give the answer.
Huh?
You have to.
It's happened before, actually.
Huh?
Something happened today on the telephone, which is, it's been in my experience, has happened before. Is that if you're talking to somebody on the telephone and you're sort of discussing with your wife the idea is a good idea, this lady, for instance, was catching very, very badly on the whole left. In fact, my hand was shaking. And just for my own comfort, I started putting abandon on it because I thought my hand had gone shaking. And she said, "What are you doing to me?" I know this lady here. What are you doing? What are you doing? I was putting abandon on because my hand was shaking. But you say what's happening to you? You suddenly started feeling okay. I thought,
But Linda, for this also they have to believe in you. Might be your hand is shaking because you are getting some bhoot, your own bhoot working.
Yes.
You see, you have to understand that at what level they are talking. You see, they are doubting you as you are doubting them. The very simple answer is that what you can do with your mind, you can always do. All right? When you get to that position also, you shout, howl, the same way you can do it. But you cannot make the Kundalini pulsate. Whatever you can do with your mind and without your mind is just the same. Because you can howl, you can shout, you can jump, you can do everything that you are doing under the same circumstances. So the one who is doing is not divine, but some human being or some human agency. But the divine, if it has to do something extraordinary which human beings cannot do. To pulsate the Kundalini is only possible for the divine. It's a living force. Man-made things are dead and they can do dead actions. But a living force cannot be activated. Kundalini cannot be seen pulsating by jumping, that cannot be done by mind. You see? Whatever you can do with human mind, with your human mind, that can be done always. What is there to need to go to these gurus? You can always howl and shout and do all these things. But you cannot make the Kundalini pulsate. Divine does something which you cannot do. You cannot make cool breeze flow from your hand. So, if you go beyond mind, it has to be something extraordinary. It should be something different than the limited and unlimited are two different dimensions. This is the secret of your mother's Maya also. This is the secret of your mother's Maya. That I live on limited plane and do unlimited things. That's how I create Maya. You see, you can only know me through knowing your vibratory awareness. By shaking on my head, nobody can make you shake if you put the hand on the head of someone. So the divine force is a thing which human beings cannot do through their mind. You cannot pulsate the Kundalini. It's a living force. Human beings cannot create life, cannot generate life. They cannot generate life. They cannot make the Kundalini pulsate. They cannot make the pulsation come down here. They cannot raise the pulsation going up. With the stethoscope you can feel it. They cannot make the pupils dilate. You see my point? Because they cannot feel the vibration. So we cannot talk of a vibratory thing, but you can see with naked eyes. They cannot make the cool breeze come out of your head. They can feel the thing coming out of our heads. This is extraordinary. See my point now? Clear cut? So the limited, whatever I can do with the limited instrument myself, I can also do unlimited. That's the sign of Divine Mother. It's a tremendous thing to understand. In the same way, you are limited now, but you have jumped into the unlimited. So the things you can do, see, that's why you are saints. You are saints. The things you can do on the unlimited, you could not have done it before realization. You start doing something that you could not have done before, is to raise the kundalini of the people. They can howl, shout, do all these things, but they cannot raise the kundalini of the people. All other things we can say is arbitrary, subjective. You are saying this happens, you got cured, it's your mental attitude and all that. But on this point, can I have? Dawn, I wrote a letter for you. I have not brought it. You have to come to my house. Yes. How do you do? Come here. Yes, yes. Hello. Yes, come now. Yes. Now, it's a photograph. Thank you. That's a good one. No. All right? I know that. I know that first. And there's another one there. Should we have some questions before we start? Suddenly silence.
That Matthias wanted to ask you about the power, curing powers coming from the supraconscious.
What is it?
The curing powers coming from the supraconscious, because there are many people who are curing other people with supraconscious forces. And what is the difference between this curing power and the curing power of the Kundalini?
You see, there could be two types of curing people. One could be those who get the power of the collective subconscious, and those who get from the collective supraconscious. Both can cure, partly, depending on where is the problem. For example, a person has a left side problem, then a collective subconscious fellow can cure left side. And if there is a conscious person, he can cure more physical side, see, because he is on the supraconscious. Now what do they do? See, now for example, take us the question of collective subconscious people. Those who indulge into going into, say, we have two types of people in India called as mantrikas and tantrikas. So the mantrikas are the people who go to the funeral pyres and also go to the cemeteries and they try to capture the spirits. You see. These are dead spirits and the sly type of dead spirits. You see. They catch them. Now these sly spirits are interested in doing some sort of a, you see, they are the so-called social workers sometimes, you see. Busybodies, you see, trying to help others. Some people might have collected, say, 100 pounds only and wanting to collect 200 more, something like that type. It's in the category of this Chaturvarna, they are the Shudras, as they call it, the people who believe in serving others and sort of doing something in the service of others. Such people. They appear to be good people because they want to serve others, you see, and they want to help others, and that's why they don't want to die their real death. You see. They want to stick on around and they are busybody to serve, you see, each other. So there might be, say, a servant class, we can call it. These are the servant class people. They are all the time the first thing to, they are the first to serve, you see. Of course, none of us are like that, so no question, nothing to bother. They are different types. They are the people who survive, absolutely survive. They like to be whipped, they like to be beaten up, they like to be ill-treated, that type of thing. Absolutely another extreme, horrid type of existence they like to have. You know that kind, in the psychology it is described. All such people are around. So they get hold of these people, they are very timid, afraid all the time, nudging, you see, left-sided. So they get hold of such people and tell them, do this work, do that work. You have to control this, you have to go there. And these people feel very happy about it. See? So if there is somebody suffering, say, from a mental trouble, say, due to, say, somebody has been to a death, somebody's death or something, he gets a mental pushback into the collective subconscious. So these people can be cured if you go to one of these mantrikas, that they just tell that, all right, now you have been there for such a long time, troubling this man, you get out from there. You get out from there, and when they say so, you get out from there. They say that we'll put somebody else in your place and we'll give you another place to go. See? Sort of an rapport is established. They are the mediators, you see, liaison officers. And they create this kind of an office by which they catch hold of these people and put them into somebody else. A very good example of this is a lady whose husband used to drink a lot. So she went to one of the ladies of this guy. So she said, all right, I'll manage this man and he won't drink. So you have to give me 100 rupees for that. She paid 100 rupees. So she put one booth in this man, removed this man who was drinking. You see, there must be a drunkard in him. So this fellow started, you see, gave up drinking, but he started going to races. So she removed that booth and she put another one who started going to dirty women. And then, you see, this lady got frightened. You see, she said, what are you doing? Every time I'm paying you 100 rupees and 100 rupees. You see, she had paid her a lot of money. And suddenly she found that this fellow is doing all the three things together. So she went to fight with this woman, you see. She said, how dare you do these things to my husband? And this lady put a booth in her. Since then, that woman is still mad, and I have not been able to cure her. So you can imagine how dangerous it is. Go to these people for getting. Still, when she sees me, she goes on like this, and quite funny. You remember one lady who came to the same one? This is the case. She's a very good-looking woman, married to a very rich man who owns a factory. And this is the life both of them are leading, burning the candle on both the ends. So this is one thing. This is one of the cases. The second case is of the supraconscious fellow. Now you go to a supraconscious fellow, like this doctor, who was that late doctor? Lamb. Late Dr. Lamb's Curative Center, you see. International Curative. International Bhutsi. Yes, really. Curative Center. And you had to write to them that I am suffering from this disease. Whatever disease you have. One lady was suffering from her uterus trouble. So all the great doctors, you see, all the great lawyers, all the great scientists, and all the great engineers and architects and all these great supraconscious people, very ambitious, Hitler and all such great warriors, all such people gather on the right-hand side. So he being a doctor, he met all his friends there. He met his friends, and then by that, what happened that he could talk to them. Now let's start a clinic, because these doctors would not die. They have been experimenting with this and experimenting with that. So they started this late Dr. Lamb's clinic. Right? And for that, they I don't know if you know the whole story, but if you read Gregor's books, it might be there, I think, that this Dr. Lamb lived in London, who died and who had a son. Now this Dr. Lamb, when he died, his booth attacked a man in Vietnam, where he was fighting. And an ordinary soldier who had never known what is education is. See? And he told him that I am Dr. Lamb, I am from such and such place. You better go to my son and tell him that you want to start this thing. He did not attack his son because he knew his son won't be able to bear him. Because he wanted a very healthy, sturdy man. You see. And this gentleman then went to the son and told him that your father is within me and he's talking like this. He said, I can't believe it. He said, all right. Then he went into trance, he started talking. He said, see, we have got these things in the secret pocket. You go and see there's money kept for you. And we talked like this secretly, and this was this. And then the son had to believe, you see. Then he believed it, and he started this clinic for him. So he gave all the money and everything for the clinic. And all the booth doctors, international, were helping this particular doctor to act anywhere they wanted. So the intercommunication was established on that level, on the collective supraconscious. Now, they would say that, all right, a lady was suffering, say, there was a lady who was suffering from high blood pressure and kidney and also some uterus trouble. So she went to them and she said that, all right, I'm suffering from such and such disease. So they said, all right, you write a letter to our center in London. She wrote a letter here. So they sent back a letter that on such and such date, exactly, see, living forces do not act like that. They don't give you a date or thing. On such and such date, at this time, we'll appear within you and cure you. And this lady at that time, you lie down in your bed, and suddenly she got this into her. You see, so one of the doctors must have entered it. And she got cured of it. Absolutely cured. For a year or so, she was all right. Then she started feeling very dizzy. She started feeling very dizzy and all sorts of coming up. When she came to me, she was in a tattered condition, absolutely finished. She was like this. So she knew that a spirit had come in her. But now she said there are at least 10 or 11 of them within me, and I can't bear it. This kind of curing also can take place from the supraconscious. See, supposing there's an architect. If he goes to one of such people, he can get an architect who's dead upon himself, and he can start doing this. Now this man, who was a ripper and all that, was possessed by some ripper who died or something like that, whose ambitions he is sharing. You see, you have to have inclination for that, no doubt. You have to have that weakness within you. Otherwise it won't work out. But if you have that weakness, and if you are very weak, otherwise also from mind, then these things catch hold of it. If it has something to do with physical side, the supraconscious can help you. If it has to do something on the, say, on the mental side, then the subconscious people can help you. But they help you very temporarily, and then they come back with a big force of it. It is like that. But Sahaja Yoga makes you so powerful and so pure that impurities just go out. It's a cleansing force. It's a very different thing, where you neither put any bhoot into somebody, or your intention is not to cure, but as a byproduct, people get killed. Now, tremendous things are happening. Like, I met a lady and her husband in Australia, very dynamic journalist, and the lady was the president of the Journalist Association. You know her? Journalist Association of Australia. She could not have had a baby. Doctors had said she can never have a baby. She's very short, extremely fat, all that problem was there. Still they were carrying on. I mean, husband wanted the baby very much. And now she conceived after surgery. After so many years. 14, 15 years of marriage, now she's conceived. So the entire, her ideas about life have changed. You know, she used to indulge into so many things, and she went to gurus, this, that, she did everything. Then she was a Catholic to begin with, then she became something else. Everything she has done. She overcome all that when she comes to surgery. And here she finds this answer, physically. So I've not put any bhoot in her. I made all the bhoots get out of her, you see. And she said that now we are going to take up a project, which I had told her, that you have to expose the people. Just even if you write what these people are doing, you will be able to show that this is madness, this is real madness. And once you have talked about it, then you prepare a base for Sahaja Yoga. And then you should say, this is the reality. That makes you sane, powerful, and loving. Then only people are going to see to this. So this is a very good thing, that Sahaja Yoga creates miracles, really creates miracles. You have seen on material level, on mental level, on emotional level, and ultimately on the spiritual level. You are all endowed with such powers. Even if, you are doing anything wrong or anything, you are a realized soul. If you want to give realization, you can. For example, if this lamp is enlightened, it may not be good, it might be unclean, it may not be very good to burn. But once it is burnt, it can enlighten another life. Like that, your spirit is pure. Now, but one has to know that we have to fight all these evil spirits. On the unlimited, I am working hard, very hard. That's how they are exposed. But on the limited, you must work hard to fight them. You should be prepared to fight them. You should prepare yourself to fight them. You have to fight these evil forces. Because they are the ones who are ruining your own beings around. So you have to fight. There will be big depression coming on. People will just obstruct it. They will trouble you like anything. But you have to fight these, and for that you should be equal.